All right, guys. I just finished. Hopefully this is in the right spot. I'm kind of like playing with new equipment, which is fun. But I'm excited because after about, I want to say like almost 3 months, I am switching back from working on my online content at night. So basically, I was arriving here around, I'd say like 11 p.m., working most days till 4 a.m. Sometimes when I had a lot of stuff to do, I'd be here till 5. One time I was even here till 6 a.m. And it was just killing me. Like, it was just such a tough thing. Like, I already had a lot of respect, but I have even more respect for people who work like night shift stuff, because honestly, like, my entire day just felt so off. I was so tired all the time. It just wasn't great. So today's my first day after about 3 months to switch back to like a normal schedule. I took it easy on myself considering that it is my first day. So I arrived around 7:30, I want to say, like 7:15, 7:30. Typically, I would try to maybe get here like around 6. But again, I'm going to like ease my way into it, maybe wake up a little bit earlier each day until I'm ready to wake up around 5:30, get here at 6. And it is currently noon. So I worked for almost 5 hours. Again, it's my first day, so I was kind of like taking it easy. It's like 4.5 hours, whatever it is. And I'm hoping that as I kind of keep going, it'll be from 6 till 12. So it'll be 6 hours straight of recording and then uploading stuff for my editor to edit for me and then just leave. So I managed to record 13 videos today. I feel like it was a pretty good day. But anyways, that's for those of you that follow me on my like reaction channels and stuff. I thought I'd do something different today and maybe film like my workout session. Right now, what I'm gonna do, I just ate 4 eggs. That's like my pre-workout. I know there's no like carbs or anything in it, but I'm being like selective about when I have my carbs because I'm not having that many of them at the moment. At least for me, it's not that many. But basically, I'm gonna drive home now. My son will have his lunch shortly. What I may do is have some fruit while he's having his lunch as like some additional carbs. Then I will put him down for his nap, and then at that point I will leave home and go to the gym, and I will work out at the gym while he's taking his nap. And the great thing about this like format is I'll be done with my outdoor activities, which is mostly coming here to work and going to the gym by about 3 or 4. No, he goes to sleep at almost 2. So I'm going to say 4 or 5 by the time I get home from the gym, showered and everything. And then just spend the evening with my family. So honestly, I'm like really looking forward to it. It's going to help my wife as well, because this way I can be home for his nap time and for his bedtime. Basically, lately what's been going on is I've been home for his nap time, but I leave during his like before his bedtime, so that I can go work out and stuff. And my wife is 9 months pregnant, so dealing with a toddler that's like wrestling you and fighting back can be really challenging for her. And with me, he also just doesn't fight back or wrestle as much. So for whatever reason, he just seems to do what I ask him to do. But anyways, there's going to be positives all around, I hope. The next time I record this, I should be pulling up to the gym. I'll give you guys like a quick brief on what we're going to work out today, and then I'll hopefully get a chance to film a little bit of each component so you guys can see. You will also see me pretty down on energy because with my calorie deficit, it is pretty rough in between sets. So I'll definitely make sure I keep some of the in between set stuff, so it's not just me working out. Maybe I can share some thoughts while I'm working out. So anyways, this ended up being a little bit longer than I hoped, but I was excited to share some stuff with you guys, and I will see you in a second on my way to the gym. All right, guys. So I just pulled up to the gym. I actually just parked. I'm sitting in the parking lot, and yeah, it was a tough time in the last like hour or so, and I feel like with my night schedule, I was so used to this time, like right after putting my son to sleep, for myself to go like eat my food and then lie down and like have a nap for like an hour and a half, that my body's kind of like expecting that. And as I'm sitting here drinking my pre-workout, so putting caffeine into my body, doing the opposite, I just feel like a little bit tired. So I gotta try and down that before getting into the locker room. But yeah, basically I'm here at the gym. I just put my son to bed for his nap, and I didn't get around to having any fruit. My son was a busybody. He wanted to play, so kind of just got caught up in that. Real quick, I thought I'd let you guys know kind of the main exercises that we're going to be doing today. You'll see them in a little bit anyways, but I thought I'd just give you a heads up so you know what to expect. I have switched to a full body program, so I train full body every time I come in. Now, what I specifically train sometimes is just dependent on how I'm feeling. I have a basic template that I follow, but if things are feeling not so great today, like my quads are still super sore or my back is not feeling really tight, then I'll kind of swap things in and out just to listen to my body. So today we're going to start with a big lift. We're going to be doing back squat. I'm thinking sets of 5. I'll kind of see how it feels once I get under the bar, but I'm thinking sets of 5 until I get to like something decently heavy, then come off a little bit and do some like extra slow tempo sets at some lighter weight. From there, I'll go to incline machine chest press, plate loaded. I am a big fan of this. I'll talk about it a little bit once I get into doing the movement. From there, we're probably going to do a single arm seated cable row. Again, I have specific reasons why I really like this movement, but I will get into that once I'm doing the movement. And then from there, we're actually going to do a second leg one. In this phase of training, I'm trying to double up on legs every time I train, because I find that since I have such a long history of injury with legs, they are quite far behind in terms of muscle development than the rest of my body. Now, strength-wise, they're great, but in order to really gain muscle mass on anything, you have to be able to be consistent. And so the lack of consistency has really caused my legs to, specifically my quads. I'm always very depressed about my quads, but we're working on it, and I'm definitely noticing that they're getting bigger. So we're going to actually do a Smith machine squat variation. It'll still be a back squat Smith machine, but the way we're going to do it, we're going to be super upright, and we're going to try and get a lot deeper in the range of motion so that we can get the quads working. After that, we have some arm stuff, so we're going to do a tricep movement. I'm thinking maybe like a straight bar tricep push down, followed by a bicep movement. I think I'm kind of feeling like a cable preacher curl. I feel like that sounds like it would be fun to do today. And then that's my 6 movements for the day. I sometimes add a 7th. It just depends on how I feel. So if I'm feeling up to it, that 7th movement likely will be Smith machine shrugs with like a very slow tempo on the eccentric. So that one's a touch and go. I'm not sure if you'll see that today. If you don't see it, I didn't do it. But we'll kind of see how I feel going into it. Anyways, I've just ended up talking. I thought maybe I would talk and drink, but that seemed like it didn't really make sense. Like, you don't want to see me sit here drinking this drink. So I'm going to drink it now, and then we'll go in and get this workout done. All right, guys, so I typically start my day with a little bit of stuff I took from ATG. Now, I tried a bunch of things from ATG. Some of them mesh really well with my goals and what I'm trying to do right now. But some of the stuff I think was probably just a little too advanced for me, and maybe would have sent me in a trajectory that made sense if my goals were different. But based on my goals right now, I selected a few things that I've kept a part of my program, specifically things that I feel really help with my knee pain. Okay, so if you guys don't know the history of my injuries, I've had meniscus tears multiple times, both knees. In my right knee, I ruptured my ACL. I think it was like a 99% tear or something like that. And at that time, in the same injury, I also tore my LCL, my MCL, and part of my meniscus again. So the knee was not in good shape. Now since then, I've been able to play sports again, work out, all of that stuff. But I have noticed that my range of motion is not complete in that right knee, and I think it causes me pain because of that. So one of the things that the ATG program was really good for in terms of reducing my knee pain was turning this treadmill off. So right now the treadmill is actually completely off. I sit on this crossbar right here, and then I'm just going toe to heel, full movement in my foot. And I find if I start my workout with anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes of doing this, if I'm on a treadmill where the resistance, the natural resistance of the belt is a little bit higher, so like this one is a little bit higher, I can get away with 3 minutes because you can hear already I'm a little bit out of breath. I can feel my quads starting to burn quite a bit. And then if I'm on a treadmill that has lighter resistance, I'll typically try to go a little bit faster, but maybe only do 5 minutes, and then get to a similar result where I'm a little bit out of breath and my quads are burning. So I'm gonna keep doing this for a couple more minutes, and then we'll head over to the next stuff that we're gonna check out. All right, guys, so next up, this is also from the ATG protocol, the tibial raises. This is something that I have also kept. It's just working this small muscle right here on the side of the shin. And as you guys can see, this muscle is responsible for us lifting our foot back up towards ourselves. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just having the extra support around the knee. This is another one that has done really nicely for me in terms of reducing knee pain. It's just getting pretty tough right there. Now I'm doing this without shoes right now, which is making it a little bit tougher. Ideally I would be wearing shoes, but I'm kind of just like, you know, trying to make sure I'm moving at a brisk pace. I'll put my shoes on after this before I get into squatting. But yeah, basically, doing pretty high volume here. Like I want to be anywhere between 20 to 30 reps. I may not do the same amount of reps from left to right. Kind of just depends on what each leg is telling me. Sorry about the music today, guys. It's like never ever this loud in the gym. So for some reason the music is like super loud today. But I've even actually taken my headphone out because trying to talk into this with that and the music in my ear is just a little bit too much. So see right there, like I'm starting to struggle to get a full range of motion in the contraction. So that's probably telling me that I can stop right there. So I'm gonna do that one more time, and then what we'll do is actually I'll show you guys the other movement now while I have the camera set up, and then I'll do one more set off camera. So the other movement I like to do is like this tibial rotation. And so what I do is I lift up my leg just like this. I want that shin kind of dangling, and then what I'm looking to do is a full rotation while keeping that knee pointing in the same direction. So I don't want to turn my knee with my shin. I want that knee still facing straight. I want to go all the way in, all the way out. Now the main reason I've been doing this is because I actually got a strain in my popliteus, and that's one of the things that's responsible for tibial rotation. And ever since adding this into my routine, I have also found less knee pain when squatting. Now guys, if I had healthy knees and healthy ankles, I probably wouldn't be doing all this extra stuff. I mean, maybe I would still do some sort of walk, something to generally get me warmed up, get the heart rate up. But then I would typically go straight to my first movement and just do it, you know, barbell and then light weights as my warm up until I get to working sets. But I do all of these extra things because of my injuries and my issues. And so this is a part of my like physio rehab that will continue to stay with me because of my injuries. And maybe someday I'll get healthy enough where I may not need them, but for now they have to stay like a pretty regular piece so that I can train pain-free lower body. So I'm gonna do that sequence one more time off camera, and then we'll head over there and take on some squats. I am just about to start squatting. I did my one more set of rehab, prehab, whatever you want to call it. And then I just set up my bar with the safeties behind me. I'm not sure what weight we're gonna get to today. Sometimes it really just depends on how I feel once I get under the bar. Like, I'm a big proponent of lifting by feel. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't keep track of my weights and stuff. I definitely do. But if coming in, I'm like, okay, last time I hit 405 for 5 on my top set. But if I come in and like my hip's kind of bothering me, or, you know, something in my knee doesn't feel right, it doesn't make sense for me to force getting to that weight. So that's where I mean, like, if everything feels great and I warm up well and all that, then I'll try to hit 405 the same weight I hit last time. It was very tough, so I don't want to go up yet. I want to try and hit the same thing. And if I don't feel 100%, we'll see if we can go maybe 315, 365, somewhere in that range. Still try to get under some heavy weight. I'm just putting on my lifters right now. I actually just got these. I had the Reebok Legacy before this, and my biggest criticism was that the toe box was like super narrow. So I'm trying out these Tyr ones, TYR. They have the wide toe box, more of a natural position for your feet. And honestly, I do notice a huge difference. Like, I don't feel like my toes are getting squished. And the other lifters, when I would finish like a day of squatting and stuff, I would actually have toe pain, and it would actually cause me to get ingrown toenails more frequently. And like right now, I'm not getting any of that, so I'm enjoying that. Guys, I'm also a huge proponent of using these tools. These are all tools, so that you can get more out of your workouts. That's the whole point. So getting these lifters, it allows me to get into a better position in my squats. Using the knee sleeves, it gives me a little bit more support in my knees, but allows me to lift a little bit heavier as well. And that's what it's all about. If you know what the tool is used for and you use it for the right purpose, I think you get more out of your training. So I'm definitely pro tools. That's a software joke. So just had to take a phone call from my dad. Everything's good. Did like one warm up off camera. This will be my first warm up on camera. Legs are feeling okay. We're gonna kind of see now that we get under some load. So very simple. The 60 kilos, about 135, and we're just gonna take it for a ride. Nothing too crazy. Cool. That felt a little bit better than the previous stuff. What I'll likely do now is go up to 225, 100 kilos. And just so everybody knows what the plan is, every set is going to be tempo on the way down. So slow eccentric. It's going to kind of range. I think as long as I fall within a particular range, I'm happy. So I want to see anywhere from 2 to 4 seconds on the way down. Maybe like a 1 second pause at the bottom and then come up normal speed. So that's going to be the game plan for the sets today. We've got 100 kilos on there right now. About 220 pounds, 225 pounds. I'm going to get under it right now. I actually don't do extra reps. Like if I'm doing sets of 5, I'll do sets of 5 all the way up. So I'm going to do that now, but I do at this point typically pull my knee sleeves up. I won't use the belt until I get 315 or higher, but knee sleeves will go up now. All right, knee sleeves are on. Let's try 225 for 5. I'm gonna try putting the mic here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it picks me up. I'll probably have to be a little more gentle with racking and unracking the bar so that I don't make the whole thing vibrate and fall. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. I think this is one of those days where we'll likely be able to get heavy. The interesting thing is, like, if I did 5 reps normal there, where I wasn't trying to do a minimum of 2 to 4 seconds on the way down, I feel like my heart rate wouldn't be so high and my breathing wouldn't be so out. But that's one of the things about tempo training, which is awesome, is that you're getting kind of that heart rate super high and the breathing out of control because it's taking so much time under tension. So I enjoy that benefit. I'm gonna try and get 3 plates on now, and then we'll show that set. I just got 315 on. The fact that I'm like on my toes right now, knees bent, is a good sign. That means it's a good knee day. I didn't think it was gonna be when I started out, but that's what I was saying. Sometimes you don't know until you get moving. I am at 315 right now, 3 plates. So I'm gonna throw on the belt. Now I don't necessarily need the belt just yet, but one of the things that I tell people who ask me about using these things is I typically use them a few sets before I need them, because I want to be in the practice of using them before they become necessary. And that's basically it. Now, in terms of jumps, guys, if you're newer, probably don't do jumps like I'm doing. My squat max is something like over 5 plates, maybe just over 5 plates. So for me, it makes sense to jump like this. But if you have a smaller squat, definitely do smaller increments on your jumps, okay? So we're gonna get under this. All right, belt is on. Here. I gotta get a new belt. First of all, the Velcro belt's not great for longevity. Velcro gets weaker. Plus, the amount of load that we're putting on it. Velcro's pretty strong, but again, when there's that much pressure, it's just gonna wear out quicker. So I definitely want to get myself like a proper powerlifting belt. One with the latch would be nice. But yeah, you can definitely tell from my breathing and how I'm having a hard time completing a sentence. Set of 5, 315-ish. I mean, I'll confirm this in my off video commentary when I edit this, but in my mind, it definitely felt like I was doing 2 to 4 second negatives. I will, if I critique myself, say that that pause in the bottom is very minimal. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't bounce out. That's kind of the main thing. So, okay guys, I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna load up to 3.5. Give myself a little bit of time to recover, and then we'll get after the next set. I've just popped on 3.5, so we got 3 blues and a green. I think this ends up being somewhere around like 350. So we're gonna try for 5, see what happens. If this goes really well, I'll be down to try 4 plates for my heaviest set and then come back down. If it doesn't go super well, then this will be the heaviest set. And this is where some of that flexibility I was talking about earlier comes in. It just depends on how my body performs and how it reacts. So let's check it out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I'm not so sure about that. I'm gonna rest for a couple minutes, see how I feel. No, maybe rest for a minute, see how I feel. And if in the next video you see 4 blues, it means I decided to say F it, let's effing go. And if you don't, it means I said F it, 3.5 is good enough. Let's see. I don't know if I made a good decision or not, but I made a decision. I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but there are no green plates. So we got 4 blues on the bar. We're gonna try for 5. I kind of was just like, F it. My top set, I only do 1 set at the heaviest weight, so that should be fine. And then I'll come back down. I won't record my my coming down sets, because basically I'll do weights that you've already seen. So after I hit this, I try to do with as little rest as possible. A set of 5 slower tempo at 315, then another set of 5 slower, like even slower tempo at 225, and then I'll kind of call it there, just for that little bit of extra volume, and conditioning, because my heart rate goes crazy. So we're gonna try this right now, 4 plates. Alright, so obviously, as we saw, I got the reps. I don't know if I'm like super happy with them. Definitely felt my right leg getting away from me a little bit, pulling in. That happens sometimes. I also definitely felt I was much closer to the 2-second mark on the eccentrics there, and I pretty much had like very little or no pause in the bottom, but that's okay. It's just the way things go sometimes. We're gonna do my down sets off camera, and then I'll meet you guys over for incline press. As I said, it's full body. So we got incline machine press next. All right, guys. So I ended up opting out of the drop sets. Last week on my Monday session, I had the exact same squat program, and I was feeling dizzy after my heavy set. I decided to push through and do the drop sets. Went into like really bad shaking, which affected the rest of my workout. When I turned off the camera and I kind of was moving around to take off some plates just now, I started getting that feeling again, just like dizzy, lightheaded. So I felt like it probably, in order to get a good rest of my workout, it was probably best not to continue with that. So I've come over to the incline chest press machine. A couple of things I do here. I set the seat a little bit higher than is ideal for myself. I'm actually also going to check, because I also, yeah, there. So I also put it at a more steep angle up, and I'm doing all of these things to increase the stretch at the bottom of the lift. And what you're going to see is I'm going to go tempo again. I want to see 2 to 4 seconds on the way down, and then I'm actually trying to get that full stretch at the bottom and actually get the implement back down to its resting place. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it with the light weight that's on here, but once I get up to my working weight, the weight helps open up a little bit. And then we're going to probably aim to do anywhere from 8 to 10 reps for our sets. So let's go ahead and do our first warm-up. I got my wrist wraps on, tools, right? Yeah, so right away we can see I'm pretty much wedged in here. I think I'm gonna have to adjust this a bit, but let's see, maybe I'm okay with it. So this is the first bit of chest stuff that I'm doing. Notice I do super exaggerate the bottom position, spending a second there trying to get that maximum stretch. Now in this warm-up set, that's not really gonna do too much. I need to adjust the seat. It's not enough room for me. But as I get into my working sets, that's gonna start really making a difference in how these lifts feel. So I'm gonna get some more weight on, and then we'll do the next set. So right now we have 30 kilos per side. I'm not counting the weight of the implement here, which says that it's about 12 pounds per side, but we're just gonna count added weight. So 30 kilos is like around 65 pounds. So yeah, so that adjustment on the seat definitely made a huge difference. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but I can actually touch the bottom now. So I'm just getting like super slow and controlled as I get to that bottom position. And it just feels like it's super stretching my chest, which is exactly what I want. So now, if you have a machine that you can't manipulate and you're not getting like a super deep stretch, One of the things you can do to get a slightly bigger stretch is puff out your chest as you get to the bottom. So instead of just staying here, as we're getting here, we puff it out, and it will give you a little bit more stretch. So it's one of the ways you can do that if you don't have an adjustable machine. I'm gonna get some more weight on here. Again, this really just depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes this weight that I have on right now, this is 40 kilos per side. So that's about 88 pounds. Sometimes that's my first working weight. Sometimes if I'm feeling stronger, I'm feeling good, I may go a little bit heavier than that, but we're gonna test this out with one set here. And either way, I'm gonna count it as my first working set. If it feels like pretty easy, we'll just make sure we bump up the weight on the next set quite a bit. So let's give it a try. Okay, yeah, that was definitely like a good amount of work, but I think too light for how I'm feeling today, so we're gonna bump that weight up right away. We've just bumped it up to 50 kg per side. Again, I'm only counting added weight. We're not counting the implement. So this is 110 pounds per arm. We're gonna try this for 8 to 10 reps. We're gonna see if this is a more appropriate weight. Now you'll notice after my last set, I wasn't like super out of breath, just a little bit. I'm not saying it's the only indicator of working hard, but it is one indicator that you're working hard. So if you come off of a set and you're breathing heavy, you're sweaty, all these things, that can be an indicator that you pushed hard. So I definitely want to chase that feeling. We're gonna try 8 to 10 reps here, 110 pounds per side. I think we found our weight. As you saw, we stopped at 9 reps there. You can probably tell from my breathing, definitely out of breath this time. And another indicator of working hard in a set, you guys may have noticed as I got to my last 3 reps, my rep speed decreased. So that means that the weight wasn't going up as fast as it was on the earlier sets. That is another indicator that you're working hard in the set, because now your muscles are getting too fatigued to move the weight at the same pace. So I'm gonna rest about 2 minutes and then we'll do our next set. Wow, only got 8 reps there. As you guys saw, quite a big struggle. One key thing also is after I do my last rep and I know I can't do another rep successfully, I'll still control it down, full range of motion, as though another rep is coming, just to get that little bit of extra out of the set. I'll rest 2 minutes, do my next set. Yeah, so that's definitely the last set. I felt on the 9th rep that I was kind of pushing to my limit, but I thought, since this is most likely my last set, I'll go to failure. And so as you saw, went for the 10th rep. And even on that, even though I failed, this is where you get the extra stuff. I failed halfway, but I made sure that I still controlled it down as though there was going to be an 11th rep. And that's where you get the extra sauce. So that was good. I'm going to recover for a couple minutes and then we'll head over to single arm cable row. So this is one of my favorite back exercises. Wow, I probably have the exposure a touch too high. I didn't test it with it's still probably a little too high, but whatever. This is one of my favorite back exercises. This is a single arm cable row. And the way I do it, I try to squeeze out extra range of motion. So as far as the contraction goes, we're still going to be pulling down here as though we're pulling to our hip. I do want more lat focus in the back. I mean, obviously it's going to train majority of the back, but we want more lats. And then when we come out to the stretch, I'm actually going to rotate the hand so the palm is down. So this would be our pronated grip. And then I'm going to get a little extra stretch to try and really get that super full range of motion. So we're going to do a warm-up set right here with 85 pounds. We're going to do one arm at a time. And we'll see how it feels today. You'll notice that I try to pin my right side by putting my arm down on my knee. And that's so that my right side stays back. So instead of my whole back reaching forward, it's more of my left side reaching forward. And then obviously I'll do the opposite on the other side, just to get that slightly extra stretch from the lat, teres major, stuff like that. Yeah, that feels pretty good. We'll just do the other side, make sure it's nice and warm, and then we'll immediately move to our working weight. This is the warm-up set, so I'm actually squeezing out a lot of seconds on this negative, but once I get to my working weight, it's not really going to be possible for me to do so many seconds. So we'll go back to what we've been doing on everything, which is that 2 to 4 seconds. I didn't even really count those reps, to be honest, so I'm not sure how many I did, but I just did them until it felt like the back was nice and warm. I will be using these grips. I'm actually saving up right now to purchase a pair of Versa grips, but these are from my CrossFit days. These are Alex Smith gymnastic grips, but same concept. So I'm going to loop this around the handle, and it's going to help me not have my grip be the limiting factor. I definitely train grip, but when I'm doing this movement, the focus is not grip. So if the grip is stopping me from really getting into my back, that defeats the purpose. So we use something like this, that way we can really train the back and then train the grip separately when we want to train the grip. I always liken this like if you're a handyman, imagine if your toolbox only had one tool. Well, you need different tools. You have screws, you have nails, you have all sorts of things. You might need to plaster, you might need to paint, you might need to do sanding. How can you do that all with one tool? So you got to have the right tool for the right job, for the right purpose. If you're not a handyman, then imagine cooking with only one utensil. Like, what if you only had a spatula and no ladle? How are you going to, make soup or serve soup with a spatula? So, same thing here. I'm a huge proponent. Again, I keep saying it, but using the right tools for the right reason, and you're going to get way more out of your workout. So, I'll give it maybe 30 seconds, and I'm going to do my first working set. All right, so we're going to do our first working set here. I adjusted the camera a little bit so you guys can see that stretch on the back. We have 175 pounds on the stack. Again, we're doing one arm at a time, and we're just going to see how this goes. I want to try to aim for 10 reps, but again, we'll see how it goes. So here we go. All right, grip is in place. Here we go. That's 10. It's feeling pretty good. Alright. We did 12 for good measure there, because it felt pretty good. We'll swap this around now. Get gripped in. I think if this right side feels as good as the left side, we'll most likely increase the weight for the next couple sets. Here we go. Yeah, so out of breath, heart rate elevated. That's how we want to feel after a working set. Completely different than the warm-up set. And based on how that felt, I managed to get 12 reps per side. I may increase a little bit. Maybe we try 190 on this next set. And as long as I'm still getting around 10 reps, plus or minus 1 or 2 reps, I'm happy with the loading. So we'll go ahead and rest for a couple minutes, and then we'll do our next working set. Increase the weight to 190. Let's give it a try. So I'm not sure how much of that set we actually managed to record. I did end up getting 11 reps per side. Feeling after the set was done, I was quite out of breath, sweating quite a bit, as you can see. So we're in the right range in terms of working hard. This is where we want to be. So I did increase the weight because 11 reps is on the higher end of the range. So I want to be somewhere where 8 reps might be challenging. So we moved it up to 205, and we're going to try for 8 to 10 reps per side. This will be the last set, so we're going to see what happens. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's getting hard. Finish with partial. Okay. I think that was 9 or 10 full. I'm not sure. And then a few partials. Or a couple partials. Okay, right side, let's go. Yep. Partials. Yeah. So we count that as a set to failure when we can't do full range anymore and have to finish the set with partials. I typically will only do that on my last set, but you guys can hear me breathing. My breathing, my sweating, my heart rate. This is all how I want to feel when I complete my last set of anything. Next up, guys, this is where it's going to be interesting. See how we feel. I don't know if I brought enough batteries to film the whole thing, but maybe I'll be more selective about what I film next. We're going to go over to the Smith machine, and we're going to see how it feels to squat with the Smith machine. Let's go. All right, guys, we are doing some Smith machine squats here. I know we had squats earlier, but basically what we're looking to do here, and you'll see the difference between the reps I did earlier and these ones. The Smith machine is going to allow me to counterbalance my weight so that I can stay super upright and get much deeper in the range of motion, get a little bit more quad activation. So that's going to be the goal here. I'll put the microphone on the side as I do the set. You guys are getting a cheeky view. Yes, pun intended. We'll just do like 5 reps here, see how it feels, and then decide if we're going to increase the weight. All right, so that wasn't bad at all. I'll likely increase the weight. Maybe we'll try 2 plates per side, see how that feels. I think rep range wise, just how I'm feeling, I'll probably stay in this like 5 to 7 range and then take it from there. But the goal is to try and keep that tempo. So we want to stay slow and we want to go low. That's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna give this a try. I'm going for 2 plates per side, 5 to 7 reps, low and slow. See how this goes. Oh, that was tough. Probably stay there for the next set. We just got one more set, but I know you're seeing the top of my head right now. I'm tired. That definitely got tough to the point where I feel like my last rep wasn't super great on tempo. So we're gonna repeat the weight and we're gonna see if we can do that last rep a little bit better. Short rest. I don't know if you can tell from my voice. Overall fatigue level is pretty high right now, so we're gonna hit this as our last set of squats, done with legs, and then we got 3 exercises left to finish out the day. Let's get after it, finish this last bit quick. 5 reps. I'm gonna try not to throw up. I'm gonna try not to pass out. All right, yeah, that hit the stimulus. No more squats. Feeling super dizzy. We're gonna go hit triceps, biceps, and then one more. Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and hit, oh, this will be interesting. Look at that. We're gonna go ahead and hit tricep pushdowns. As I said in the car, this is according to the plan. We're gonna see if we can do 3 to 4 working sets, just kind of depends on how we feel. So looking again for like a super range of motion. And just give me control. Control all the way up. I'm basically trying to get to the point where my forearms are pressed against my biceps. And that's what's kind of giving me that super full tricep stretch. Cool. So that was kind of just our warm-up set. I feel like because we've done pressing already, we've done some pulling through the elbow joint, so my elbows are fairly warm at this point. I kind of just hit that first weight to make sure the triceps know I'm about to give them some work. But I'm gonna rest real short, less than a minute post warm-up set, and then we're gonna kind of go into our first working set. And we're definitely gonna try to get to failure set 2 and set 3. If I feel really good, sometimes I make it to set 4, but it may just be a 3-set situation. We'll see how it goes. So we're gonna give it a try right now. 10 reps, that felt pretty good. We'll go ahead and rest. Stand back a bit. There we go. Got that weight also on that side leaning over into it, so yeah, it felt like a stronger position first time. Exactly. So now you can start pushing bigger weights as well. Yeah. All right, guys. So as we've probably realized at this point, my first day using my camera at the gym, yeah, there's like a learning curve, right? I took 2 batteries, and you'll notice in my workout sets today that the camera died twice. 2 times dying, 2 batteries, that's it. So I wasn't able to film my last few exercises. Well, really, I was just finishing up the triceps, which you guys saw a part of, and then did a little bit of biceps, 3 sets, I think 3 or 4 sets. And then I finished off, I was going to do shrugs, but ran into a buddy of mine at the gym. I only know him from the gym, but super jack guy. And he kind of talked me into doing some leaned over lateral raises for my side delt. So decided to do that instead. But yeah, overall, that's basically what my workout day looks like. I thought I would share that with you guys. Now I'll see how this video does, but I have some other ideas and stuff too of things that I could maybe show you in terms of, yeah, just like some content. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.